Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Wednesday episode of the No Contest Wrestling Podcast. I am the heel that you love to hate, O'Shea Jackson Jr. Hey, K.A. Petty Gorilla.
Hey, yo, it's me. It's the T-double-O, the J-I-double-G-2, Jiggy, T.J. Jefferson. And what's up, yo? Good to see you, man. It feels like it's been a minute since we've been here in set because we was all over the place, you know.
Boy, TJ, they tried to kill me.
They did.
They tried to kill me, man.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me, man.
Obviously, you know, we had WrestleMania, which was damn near a week of just, you know, work followed by drinking and debauchery. And then work again and more drinking and debauchery.
Factual.
And right afterwards, we came back to LA. I had to fly to Georgia for the Atlanta Film Festival for my movie. Idiots. Come on, man. Give me that.
Idiotas.
Come on, dog. You see it? August 28th. Make sure y'all there. By the way, you will see me in this shirt all the way until the end of August.
Just make sure you wash it.
Yeah, I got multiples. So it's about 1 a.m. So I'm asleep, and I get a text from Delta. Hey, so we had to update our aircraft, and we're going to have to put you in the main cabin.
As opposed
to first. I go from first to main.
You're not going to get anyone on your side for this one.
Hold on. Okay. I'm a victim. Oh,
I can always.
This is great heel work.
R.I.P. to your mentions when this comes out.
I'm a victim, all right? First of all, the people of the main cabin are mistreated. Those people are mistreated.
Oh, that's a fact.
They offered me a drink.
Yeah, we don't get
before
the meals.
It took off.
You don't get warm nuts. You don't get warm chocolate chip cookies.
In fact, I think they make them colder. The vents don't work back there. The vents don't work. All that air outside, we can't get the vents to work. The vents don't work. Shout out to the nice. She was so sweet. The Japanese woman next to me. After we got off, she said, "You did a good job."
Wow.
Yeah, I did do a good job, God damn it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I got sick.
Well, that's going to happen on the plane, though.
No, it don't happen up there. Up there, it's different. Back there, it said 35F. I was like, 35? What number is that? 35? There's that many rows back here?
Yeah. I just got to say to everyone out there, when people get online to trash this, just remember, leave me out of it. Okay? Because I'm back there. So leave me out of your vitriol. Leave me out of your anger.
Excuse me.
Okay,
what do y'all do for food back here?
Oh, my God.
There was a fight club in the back. All right, I was scared to death.
Get some Biscoff cookies, man.
That was another thing. Up there, you get as much as you want.
Yeah.
That lady can't buy a time. That's 5 hours.
I think I might still have one in my bag right now. To be
By the way, that thing is officially a weapon. If it's still in your bag, things get hard. But yeah, man. So I go through the main cabin situation, and the entire film festival, I'm hacking up stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm ugly in my interviews, more than usual. But it was rough, and now I'm finally getting over it. And wrestling want to be all crazy now. After Mania is always weird to kind of see what direction they're going. Yeah. Everybody's getting called up. My poor zebra cake, Universe Ruka getting beat up by
almost got her head put through. Like, that was awful. I think we may have touched on that.
Yeah, I'm miserable, but I'm recovering. So I'm a survivor.
I had the same thing, man. Not with your type of complaint though, but it's not even a complaint because I asked for this. Okay. You know what I mean? We did WrestleMania, so we were there from Thursday till Monday morning. I got off a flight at LAX. I came right here to the Rich Eisen show, made it before the end of the show, and then had to turn around, unpack, and repack the very next morning to fly to Pittsburgh for the NFL draft. Was there all week, then got to go to Altoona for a couple days. It was great. Got to see Mom. She made me a whole big tray of dressing, a lot of you folks call it stuffing. We don't stick it in the bird, though. That's the difference. It's dressing for us.
Sticking it in.
Yeah, some people put the stuffing inside. They call it stuffing.
Yeah.
We don't. We just make a pan that's called
because they stuff probably dry.
Yeah, I'm saying. But my mom made a fresh batch, so I came through security with about 5 pounds of dressing frozen in a bag. But that was great to get home for a little bit. But yeah, I feel it, man.
I'm gonna need a small bowl.
I'll bring you some next week.
All right, cool.
But yeah, so it was, like I said, it was a lot. We had to do. We did WrestleMania. You had to go do the film thing. I had to go do the NFL draft. But honestly, looking back, I'm like, to quote Meek, I prayed for days like that. Like that's all I really wanted was to be able to talk traditional sports and wrestling. Like, I can't ask for anything more, Joe. You know what I mean? So,
listen, man.
And then our pod, like we said last week, we recorded that. It was like midnight for me.
Yeah. By the way, that is because we really love y'all. And, he was busy. He was out of town. I had to fly out to Georgia that Wednesday. So it was like, we can't not have our episode, man.
So we just had
so my man TJ was up in the wee hours talking nonsense.
I was
me.
like, I'm giving this half an hour. Next thing I know, 2.5 hours. Oh yeah, well I guess.
Yeah, man. But we had to make sure we was there for y'all. And like, don't always remember your boys look out for you.
And I know Don Bowie was sleeping while recording that.
Oh, RJ was for sure.
Yeah, they got it set up and then they went to bed. But yeah, in the meantime, in between time, what we saw is, and this happens every year, unfortunately, around WrestleMania time, is a $1 billion company has cuts. And I get it. Okay, I've been there before. I used to work for DirecTV, which turned into AT&T. We had something called surpluses one year. We get down to Georgia for the Super Bowl. I find out I get surplus. That means there's a surplus of money. There's a surplus of people and jobs, and someone's got to get cut. So I've been, that corporate thing. I've gone through that twice in my life. So I completely understand how the performers feel. I understand how the fans feel, but there's always some names that you sit there and go, I cannot believe. Yeah. And number one on the list, I think, is Kyrie.
Yeah.
Kyrie saying now we're hearing that she kind of noted that she wanted to go home back to Japan. If that's the case, fine. But other than that, man, we've all been waiting for this Kyrie and Asuka thing to come to a head. Even though I love Asuka more than almost anything, I'm like, all right, Kyrie's got to snap on you. Yeah. And we all thought that would come, and now we're not going to get that, and that stunk. And I was also going to do a list, and maybe I still will, of people who need to be pushed after WrestleMania. And at the very top of that list was Aleister Black. And now he's gone as well. It's just, I understand some people that maybe there wasn't a role for, they didn't have anything for. But like I said, there's other people that you're just like, how can you not come up with something?
Yeah, this was probably the second biggest list of cuts that I've ever seen. I remember that year where it was like, actually the first time they got rid of Aleister.
Yeah, and Bray.
And Braun Strowman. Yeah. It was like,
what?
People who were like, these are big names. Yeah. We're kind of just cleaning house. Obviously, friend of mine, Zelina Vega. Yeah. She's gone as well. ZV Army forever.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah. Motor City Machine Guns, that hurt as well because they just got here.
Yeah.
They're like it's been a year? So so it was like this early. Wyatt, the entire Wyatt Six.
Yeah, that was also like
the entire Wyatt Six. It's not like, hey, there's I was a Dexter Lumis fan.
Yeah.
I really saw big things for him in a singles situation. But anyway, the entire Wyatt Six is gone. People have a lot to say about that. The girl from what's homegirl from LFG,
Tyra Mensa.
I can't hold on. We got the internet in our hands.
I got to get her full. But that was a shock because you have LFG and it's supposed to be we're going to build up a next star to go to NXT. Here you have an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, that won.
An Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
And
she won LFG.
And she won LFG.
Yeah.
So
What's the point? What's the show for?
Yeah.
Like,
there was a commercial that came out years ago. I forget what it was. And these guys were playing basketball. And the one brother stopped. And he was like, yo, pass me the rock. Pass me the rock. Then he stopped. He turned to the director and goes, excuse me. What's my motivation? What's my motivation? So what is your motivation, dog? Tell me. What's the motivation if you win LFG and you still get cut?
Yeah, like, how am I even on the list of like, well, do we really want it? Like, yeah, you should have eliminated me from the show. Like, so, but with all that said, not only did you completely gut the women's mid-card, it felt like as well, but the one that really bugged me is like, Zelina's my friend. So like that hurts.
Yeah.
But what bugs me, Zoe Stark. Zoe.
Yeah, because she got hurt.
She got hurt
at work.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, yeah.
And like, I mean, if she was really on a little rise. You know, she was really like starting to get into her own and being one of those.
Tyra May Steele. I'm sorry.
Tyra May Steele. Tyra May Steele.
I was connecting her real name with her work name, and that's
you bad at that.
Yeah, I got to stop.
You
got
bad
to
at
stop.
that.
Calling people their government names.
What's it called?
Apollo Crews.
So yeah, Tyra May Steele. Yeah, Apollo Crews vet. Tyra May Steele. That was, just want to make sure we respected your name.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, Zoe. I feel like that. Keep it G real. That shit is unfair as hell. Like, unless there's something that we don't know of, she's not going to be the same performer again. But other than that, like, bro, we saw her get hurt live on TV.
Devastating.
And it was like really bad.
Yeah.
So like you knew you had to give her this time, and there was no type of grace period with it. And I saw her WrestleMania weekend. Like, I was like, oh, man, it's Zoe. And I never got a chance to, like, talk to her. But I was like, all right, good. She must be gearing up, to get ready. From Raw after Mania is right there. I was like, maybe. But damn, that sucks ass. Like, that's trash.
And it's business, right? Because, like I said, I've gone. Let me pull the mic back in. I've gone through that, obviously not in the wrestling world, like I said, but on a corporate level, and it does. It stinks, especially when you think you're doing good work, and but especially to get hurt on the job and then get cut. That's that's your biggest issue, and yeah, man, it's kind of tough.
After that Money in the Bank, I think it's 2 years ago now.
You mentioned this quite often.
Oh yeah, because like that women's Money in the Bank with Lyra and Io and Zoe and Tiffany's the one who ended up winning. Mm-hmm. That was one of the best matches that I've seen in a very long time, and is like on my list of favorite women's matches ever. And I felt like Lyra and Zoe, like they didn't win the briefcase, but they showed that they belong.
Yeah,
and they showed what whoever scouted them saw. And that right there for Lyra, we saw it's done great for her.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for for Zoe, and it just seemed like right when she started to get her footing and like the crowd knows what to expect from her, it was gone. And so that really hurts. It really hurts to see her not be able to get her full shot. But like we said the year prior, this isn't goodbye. You have a chance when you do get released to go and sharpen your skills or go to other promotions and increase your stardom. We've seen it happen a bunch of times now. The QB1 of the company is a prime example of that. Yeah. It is about how you handle this adversity. And, once part of the WWE universe, I know you're always like, it's not like those fans are gonna reject you because they haven't seen you in a long time
at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So, to everybody who got cut from no contest, at least, best of luck on your future endeavors. Yeah. We know we'll see you around. We'll support you wherever you go. You still come on the show. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And wrestling's in a time now where there's different companies. They could go here, they could go there, they could go.
Yeah. You can even pop off in different countries.
ROH, you go to New Japan. Yeah, there's a lot. Also, Alba Fire, I want to point that out. You know, as Kaylee Ray, she 649 days she was the NXT UK Women's Champion. That's 2 years, right? And you know, I love Isla Dawn, as you know, she was one of my favorites. So to see both of them now gone, it kind of just makes me scratch my head, like, why? But you know, the thing is, you've always got to have more rounds in the chamber or in the clip, I guess. And now we're seeing NXT. We're seeing a lot of kids. I say kids, they're adults, but like, you know, a lot of cats coming up. And now we've got, like
this
you
is
said,
an older black man. Talk, brother.
You got Soul coming up. You've got Ethan. He made his debut against Javon. You know, Blake Monroe is on her way up to the main roster.
All of the no contest first years are
Ricky Saints. He just did his last bid.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, and then
against our boy Shiloh.
Yeah, against Shiloh Hill, who's just like, Shiloh's a star in the movie.
Yo, he's low key in his bag with acting too.
By the way, Shiloh Hill and Tatum Paxley together, it just works.
Right.
They got to keep those two together just for the weird factor.
Yeah, dude, it's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny. There's a movie to be made.
But yeah, so you know, a lot of new people coming up to the main roster. But what that does is it depletes NXT a little bit. So watching NXT yesterday, you start to see some new faces, some people getting a push. You know, Tony D, for instance, our guy Tony D'Angelo, he's in the ring claiming that he's the last man standing after all the guys he was with. You know, from Grayson to Oba to Trick to Mello to, you know, all the guys that he came up with. They all got moved up. He's like the last man standing. Yeah. And he's worried. He's talking about a box that he received. He goes, look, I'm not dumb. I know this wasn't a gift. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the lights dim and we see this figure come out and he makes his way to the ring and he hands him a rolled up T-shirt with some Japanese markings on it. And it looked really evil. Ooh! And so now we've got this mysterious Japanese wrestler who didn't have a name, but we know him as a name, but I don't know if that's the name they're going to use. You know, he kind of gives him the gift, kind of lets him know, I'm coming for you. And as Tony D's sitting there, out comes our guy, Tavion Heights, and he hits him with a belly-to-belly suplex that I know Magnum TA probably just applied. Hey, Magnum TA was like, good stuff. That was one of the best belly-to-bellies I've seen. Tony D's feet were up in the air. And Tavion didn't let him know, and to quote, like, it's his time. He's taken what he deserves. Yeah. And then
for those who didn't see it, it kind of looked like when you play with your younger siblings in the bed wrestling, and you don't want to slam them too hard because then you get in trouble. Well, like that scoop.
But you scoop them up real high.
Yeah.
So he did
the highest they've ever been in their life.
And then as he's doing a promo, you notice someone in the back rolling into the ring. Yeah. Camera cuts. There's a cat on the rope, does an incredible moonsault. People are like, who's that? Who's that? Apparently, this is this cat named Will Cruz. You know, British wrestler. I then kind of start doing some homework on him. Okay. He doesn't have your typical look. Yeah. You know, he's, as Dusty Rhodes said, his belly's a little big, his hiney's a little big. But you can tell based upon what I've seen, he's bad, man. And he looks like, you know, he does look like a cat from Britain who probably goes out and has a few.
Is that a fan?
Right. He goes out, has a few pints, and then just beats up the whole bar. Yeah. So I've seen a few moves. I haven't seen, I'm not going to pretend I know a whole lot about him, but everything I've read, everyone that does know his work, he's very much looking forward to seeing what he can do. So now you got Tavion getting a little push. You got Will Cross coming in, you know, addressing, like, kind of making a name for himself. And then who else you got? Lizzie Rain. She came in and wrestled Big Cat Kita, and she used her move, the Thunderstruck, which was incredible. I kind of feel like maybe it's really dependent on the person taking it to be in the right place, because she had to put her foot on Nikita's hip and then hands on the shoulder, spin around, and she lifted her knee up and just blam. So it looked great.
Devastating.
I don't know if it's, I guess she's going to be able to do it to everybody, sure. Yeah. But that's another one, a new person. Because the show started, we had Mr. Stone, we had Shawn Michaels, and Matt Bloom sitting at the table, and Mr. Stone, who's the GM, talking about how they lost all this talent. And he and Matt Bloom were like, well, we got LFG, we got Evolve, you know, we have foreigners. And Shawn Michaels said something that's pretty dope. He goes, yeah, you can make your calls and you can put your pictures on the whiteboard. He goes, but how about this? How about we throw a stick of dynamite in the locker room and see who runs out?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a message to everybody. It's time to step up.
Speaking of stick of dynamite in the locker room, Kelly Armstrong came in there a little aggressive.
She's another one, Callie, another friend of the show from
her
LFG.
and Jada about to get down.
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all.
Why they have to pat
hold
them?
on, sis.
We just got over Kalani and Jada. Now we got to have Callie. I don't like it.
Yeah, man, it's stressing me out. But I mean, NXT being gutted. There's new people to be the vets around there.
Yeah, man.
Kind of be the guys to keep NXT, the NXT that we know.
Oh, also we had Mr. England. Tristan Angels came through.
Oh, right.
He had something to say to our guy, our guy Myles.
My sister was like, "Who's this vampire?" But what I was saying, you got Tony D as champ, and we got Kalani Jordan still over there. She's a veteran over there. Lola is the world champion, but also our guest. Forgot to tell y'all what type of guest we have today. Right. Our guest, Myles Borne.
Yeah,
Myles Borne will be joining us in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, like it is a new guard.
That's what it's about,
and it's crazy to see that in the developmental show. Mm-hmm. Like
Well, that's where it should happen.
That's where it should happen. And a lot of people I was seeing online, they're like, "How is such and such still there?" Somebody got to teach these dudes how to drive this place.
Yeah.
And now you're the young vet. Yep. You're a young vet, and you have to show the new guys how things are done. And it's a good thing when a company trusts you to do that. Yep. When a company says, like, no, if we have these, this, and them, we'll be straight. We'll be okay. And the new people will be okay too.
Right.
So, like, that's a badge of honor. My man, Tony D, you got jumped.
Yeah, they coming for you.
They are after you, dog.
And they coming for Myles. They come on anybody with some gold, man.
Yeah, but just like the fact that I gotta introduce the new guy, the import, if you will, and then not only that, but as soon as he leave, not him comes and beats me up, and then after I get beat up by him. Then I get a moonsault from it was just Tony D was going through it. Thoughts and prayers. Tony D, thoughts and prayers.
But he gonna be all right.
Yeah, bro. I mean, he beat everybody up anyway.
So that was NXT, and I know we got Myles Borne, like he said, the new, fairly new. I mean, he's had it for a few weeks now.
Yeah, it's his now.
But a lot of stuff going on Smackdown and Raw. But I think the biggest thing is Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. They've kind of Fatu. Yeah, that I mean. Yeah. And essentially we ended Raw with a move that I got to be honest, I haven't seen since the late 80s, early 90s. Roman was doing a lot of talking to Jacob. Mm. Jacob was like, man, beep all that talking. He just put Roman in the Tongan death grip, which we haven't seen. And he put him out. And it was just like, whoa. Okay, right. Jacob ain't with the talking right now.
Right.
Yo, this is a whole new Jacob.
It seemed like Jay got offended by the N-word.
Nephew?
Nepotism. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, man.
What everybody think?
Come on, I thought you were going to say naysayer. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that happened. A lot of stuff going on, but and then Roman accepting his challenge. Now we're going to get Roman Reigns against Jacob Fatu. The fans who were cheering Jacob, and it's to your point about people not wanting to boo Roman.
About to boo Roman.
Now they're starting to boo Jacob for just stepping up. So
about to boo Roman, bro.
So we'll see where this is going. I know we're both looking forward to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of other stuff going on, and we'll get to it. But most importantly, we got a guest coming up right now.
Yeah, man. He got some hardware. It's heavy to carry.
Yeah.
So might as well get to it. TJ, it's time for our guest, man.
Yes, sir.
And we don't want to keep him waiting because, the man is walking around with some hardware right about now.
Gold.
He is your North American champion of North America. Yeah. You can't say of the world, but yeah. Our North American champion over there at NXT, Myles Borne, is in the place to be. What's going on, man? How you feeling, baby?
Thank you.
How's everything? I know life's a little heavier these days.
Yeah, a little heavier on the left side.
The great thing is you can switch it to the right side then and balance things out, though.
I can. You're right. Sometimes I got to move it over. I get a little tired. moving over the other side.
Myles, I was saying before this real quick, man, I started following you on Instagram back in like 4 years ago. You had like 3,000 followers. You were just getting your journey started. So it's pretty dope to see where you're at today and kind of like the evolution that you've taken that led you here today with us as the North American champion. Who knew back then, Shay, that when I hit the follow button on this man, that 4 years later, we'd be sitting here today rapping with him.
Yeah, man. So you've had an incredible journey, and what we like to do, especially with our first-time guests, is we want to know about the beginning of that journey. So when did Myles Borne get bit by the wrestling bug?
Oh man, I remember. So I was always an amateur wrestler. I started wrestling at age 4, and my parents bought me Smackdown versus Raw, the video game. It was 2007, and I would play this game. I'd be sitting on the floor playing the game, and I was in awe because we got the amateur wrestling, but the thing that these guys were doing in the video game and on TV was so much more entertaining and bigger. And me and my buddies, we literally used to go put on ladder matches in the trampoline, and some of the things we'd do in the backyard, I wouldn't even do today. I don't know how we got away with it, but I remember sitting in front of the screen and I was playing the video game, and I think I was actually playing with John Cena, and I remember I said, man, I want to go to WWE one day, but I didn't actually, at that time, I didn't know that was like a possibility. I thought maybe these guys were like born into the business, and I didn't know how everything worked. So to me, it was a pipe dream. But that's when I knew I was like, I would love to be in this. And fast forward later, like I'm still in shock,
Right. I remember being a kid and thinking that same thing when I started watching wrestling. I didn't think they were real. And what I meant by it was I didn't think they were real human beings. I thought they were from another planet. They didn't live on the same world that I lived on, and then I go to a match in like 3rd, 4th grade and I'm touching these guys' hands and I'm like, wait a second, these are real people.
Yeah. Man.
When I was a kid, it sounds crazy, but I literally didn't know John Cena was a real person. I thought, I'm probably 6 years old at the time, and I'm like, this guy must, he wrestles on TV and then he just goes to sleep backstage and he wakes up on Monday and goes at it again. But yeah, that's what I believe.
Well, we had him sitting here a few weeks ago. I can assure you, yes,
the realist.
He is very real, and it was still. I was older. I wasn't 6 when he started, but I felt like a little kid at some point during that interview. Like, wow, this is John Cena, and I'm staring at him right now.
Right. We've had the pleasure of having a few legends on here, and I definitely had that moment of like, dang, John Cena is really sitting right here. Mick Foley, that was another one. We were like, I was just like, we almost get lost in the interview. Just like
Myles, when Mick Foley was here, I literally caught myself, dog. I just was like this.
There's no way. Like Mick is here.
That was the look on my face when I walked into the PC about a year and a half ago, and I look in and I see Randy Orton on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there's no way this is real. Like, it's unreal.
All right, well, let's talk about that real quick. We can tell based upon your look and some of your moves that Randy was a guy that you probably looked up to. So share with us, what Randy Orton meant to you and what it was like to finally meet him, because we saw the picture of you two together and they were calling you Randy Jr. And normally that might be a knock, but there ain't nothing wrong with being called
Randy.
I mean, so it's funny. Before I ever got into WWE, I was always a fan. I mean, I loved, watching John Cena and Randy. That was like the matchup that really stuck to me as a child. And whenever I played a video game, it was always John Cena and Randy. But it's funny, at first, not understanding how things work, I didn't like Randy at first.
Of course.
He was the bad guy. He was mean. So I would watch it on TV, and then I'd get mad and pull the video game up, and I'd just, I'd take John Cena and I'd beat him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get payback, but
get some color on him.
Get your lick back.
But as I got older, I learned, like, once I started learning about how this works, I was like, wow, like, this, at the age of, like, 6, 7, or 8, this guy had me believing that he was this bad dude, and John Cena was the superhero. And that's when it clicked. I was like, wow, these guys are so good at what they do that I didn't even understand it, but I felt something. So I started, like, gradually gravitating towards a Randy Orton fan. And I like the way he moved, the way, just his whole vibe I like. And before I ever got to WWE, we'd be out with family and friends, and we'd have like random people come up to us at restaurants, and they would ask if I was related to Randy. And to me, that was like, who? Randy who? And then Randy Orton. I was like, oh. I was like, Randy Orton. I was like, that's crazy, but it happens so often. And then once I got to try out and came here, the whole, Baby Viper, the blonde Randy Orton, that thing blew up. But the way he moves, like, he's told me many times, like, we have like similar body style. He's much bigger, obviously, but our shape and everything, and the way he moves, I felt that was natural for me. So I started watching the way he would wrestle and the moves he would do, and he would tell me, because I've had back surgery before I got here, so learning from him, I started, soaking in everything that he was telling me. Like, this is a long career, you gotta protect yourself, and the way that he wrestled to have that long of a dominating career, I was like, okay, I want to follow that blueprint, and so I started, picking some things here and there to try to get, advance my career very fast. But now, I'm trying to create my own path. So slowly but surely, I'm figuring out who I am. But yeah, Randy was, he was kind of like the foundational block that I kind of stuck on to at least help me get through that door and kind of navigate in the ring for the first few years.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously the people saw it, then you started to see it, and the right people saw it, because now you're North American champ, man. But before we get into you getting this championship, we still getting to know you a little bit with our audience. So I want to know, Myles Borne, what was your welcome to wrestling moment? What was a moment that either you got put on your ass or even just a realization that, like, man, this wrestling world is my new life now. This is our decision. Like, this is what we got to work with.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was like within the first 2 weeks of being here. I wrestled for 21 years before I got here, and I thought, amateur wrestling and pro wrestling, they butted heads, But I remember the first couple weeks I was here, I was taking the bumps, and I'm sitting there thinking, why did this hurt? Like, doing this on TV, I'm sure there's a way to make this not hurt so bad, and people still can watch. But no, I remember I took a hip toss, and I'm a tough guy, but came down just a little awkward, and my heels hit first, bruised. I was limping. I was like, what in the world is this? The ropes, I had marks on my back. I have a picture from literally the first week of my back, and it's just purple from the rope. And I called my coach immediately, and I said, hey, you know how we used to beef with pro wrestlers? I said, well, I hate to break it to you. I said, I've done both, so you could take my word on this, but this is much harder. Okay, this is real. This is real. I don't care what you think. But yeah, the amateur wrestling, I have a lot of respect for it. I did it my whole life. But yeah, this is no joke. And that's what I told him. And I was like, I expect 100% respect on your end for what I'm doing now.
So you mean even after what Kurt Angle's done and other amateurs that come in, there's still that kind of head knocking between amateur and pros?
Yeah, it's you see, I think, a lot of people don't actually know what it's like to get slammed in that ring. And it's not easy. I've been slammed on the wrestling mat, but that it's just a different ball game, and the risk is much higher. So yeah, even with the guys like Kurt Angle who have come in here, and he's a gold medalist. He's done it better than any of us, but there's still a little bit of that tension because it's just people don't understand, and people are going to always look at something kind of negatively if they don't understand it.
Word.
And I was one of those guys. You know, I didn't care that Brock Lesnar had done both worlds. I didn't care that Kurt Angle had done both worlds. I was only an amateur wrestler, and that's all I knew. And I said, you know, this is real. This is my stuff. And the moment I stepped into this PC, it was very humbling. And I have so much respect for everyone who steps in that ring. And to me, it was just like, wow, like I went 21 years and had very, very, very few injuries. And the moment I step in here, I'm banged up every day. And I'm like, it's unreal. And I just wish people could just step into our shoes just for one day and just experience what it's like to hit the ropes or get slammed, something, because I'm walking around 24/7 aching somewhere, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It sucks.
That's got to be because, you know, our show is under ESPN, and we are in a time where pro wrestling is trying to blend itself into, you know, in the world of sports, and me and TJ are doing traditional sports, and we're trying to be the bridge for a lot of people to get why we enjoy what we enjoy out of pro wrestling. And so I wonder if next Mania, it might be smart. Well, not next Mania. Next Mania about to be far.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make that one though.
Yeah, maybe at some of these PLE events, set up a rig. Let guests run the ropes.
Yeah, man.
Let them run the ropes. See if it's still all jokey jokes.
They gotta take two. Yeah, because that's something we ask Myles a lot. Like, you know, when he says you're welcome to wrestling moments, we always hear about hitting the ropes for the first time.
Yeah.
Taking a bump. Yeah, put up a ring and let somebody take a bump.
Yeah.
Now, you only have to take multiple.
Yeah.
Run the ropes a few times in a t-shirt.
Yeah. Because running the ropes is like if you sign up for a bump, you know, people are going, oh, he put extras on that one. No, run the ropes. Something simple. Let's see how you feel after that, bro.
And from what we understand, it hurts.
We got to sign some waivers for that one.
Yeah, exactly, man. Let's see what you got, bro.
Absolutely.
Because I felt those ropes when I went to the headquarters. You know, there's a few rings in there, and I felt that rope. I'm like, bro, if my back is wet,
it's a cable, bro.
I'm like, bro, I'm just getting sawed every time. Yeah, man.
It's not a joke with you.
Much
guys
power
do,
to you.
man.
Okay, we're getting into some fun questions now because you've taken a lot of bumps. You've made your way to becoming a champion. Tell us a move that you absolutely hate taking.
Ah, man. Ober's pizza toss.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Oba hit me with the pizza toss, and you know, I'll take pretty much anything. There's nothing on the table that I'm not. You know, I might be a little like, but we're gonna do it. Once we're live, I'm game.
Yeah.
But when he picked me up for that pizza toss, I got no choice. I'm in the air. There's nothing I can do, and he just lets you go. Oh man!
And you're just like, woo!
Oh yeah. It's just that bump right there it'll knock the breath out of you. I took it once, and I remember I hit, and I just immediately I lost my breath, and I just rolled out. Just rolled. It was a live show. I don't even know where we were, but we were on a tour, and I just rolled out. And I said, "I'm done."
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's the second or third time that pizza toss has been brought
and
up.
And it's funny, we had Oba on. Oba's actually been on our show 4 times, and we brought it up to him, and he started and Shay was like, you know, this pizza toss, and he started to answer the question. And he went, well, hold up. How'd you even know it was called the pizza toss? We only call that. We only mention that in the back. We've never actually.
Yeah, man.
Like, we know things here.
Yeah, we know stuff.
There you go.
We do our research.
We've been talking to NXT people for a long time, bro.
It's funny. I always tell, like, you know, the guys who do big moves like that. I'm like, once I took them, and I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
They would always be like, oh, it's not that bad. You're fine. And I would just say, well, have you ever taken it?
Right, exactly.
And of course, who's going to throw over?
Who's
no
gonna
one,
toss
no one's
over?
throwing over.
Right.
But I had a rule in my head. I was like, I think the rule should be, if you have a move, you have to take it one time.
That makes sense.
100%,
That makes sense.
100%.
Just so you know.
Yeah, gotta know what you're doing.
But unfortunately we can't unearth Andre the Giant to
Right, to toss
him. Maybe a couple brothers get together and
yeah, right. They're gonna have to treat it like little kids at a party with the
Right.
blanket.
So, Myles, we always like to get deep into a wrestler's history and the story. But for you, let's go the whole way back, right? Born in Wilmington, North Carolina. Born with persistent pulmonary hypertension of the newborn, right, brother? And that is a treatable condition, but one of the side effects is loss of hearing. Explain to us, talk to us, dog. What was it like for you as a youngster growing up and how you overcame this?
So, it was more difficult for my parents than it was for me, because they understood the challenges that I was going to face later on, whereas I was just in the moment. But it was tough, I didn't really understand because all I've known is a life of not being able to hear that well. And people would always ask me, like, how much do you not hear? I don't know. I don't know what you hear, so I
Right.
hear it not. To me, this is normal. But it was tough, because it didn't just affect what I heard and, what I was receiving. It affected the way I talk, my speech. Because there's a lot of syllables that I don't know the sounds of, so I don't know how to produce that sound. So it was very difficult because at that age, the kids, they're not patient. They don't care to take the time to listen to you and understand that you're different. And I used to have these really big hearing aids, and you could see them from across the football field. And that was embarrassing for me. So at an early age, I just navigated towards adults because adults were patient and they would spend time talking to me and helping me. And honestly, it became like an advantage for me because I was always left out of on the playground and the fun stuff. So, I saw that the coaches and the adults that my parents would put me around, they were willing to spend time and talk to me. So I felt comfortable. So I'd always go there rather than try to hang out with the kids my age. And it really helped me early on to get ahead because I was, like my coach said one time, he told my father, he said, your kid, I was like 4 or 5 and we were in wrestling practice. And he said, your kid can't hear, but yet he's the best listener in the room. And it's because I would just lock in on what I could. If I didn't look at you, I don't know what you're saying. So while all the kids are running around and playing, I'm just locked in on the coaches. And it really played in my favor because I was able to learn and adapt a lot quicker than most kids. But it was a lot of difficulties. You got the bullies and the stuff like that. And so it was tough, but more so on my parents because they really couldn't step in. All they could really do is just try to point me in the right direction and make sure that I was. That's why they put me into wrestling, so that I could just learn confidence, self-respect, and also self-defense. Because there were going to be times where people would, press my buttons and push me, and it did happen. But that's just the way it is in life. Everybody got something that people are going to look at as different and pick on. But to me, my hearing, that challenge, I am thankful for it. I wouldn't ask to be born any other way because I would not be sitting right here with you guys, honestly, had I not had these difficulties early on.
That's what's up.
Smart. Genius move by the parents.
Oh, absolutely.
Genius move by the parents, bro. Wrestling, because in high school, that's the one dude you kind of don't mess with. Don't mess with none of our.
None of the
If
wrestlers.
he grab you, you about to get embarrassed, bro. He about to dip his hips, and now you swinging your arms trying to get up. Yeah. It's not good. It's not a good look.
I tell this story in gym class. You do a couple weeks of everything in gym class. Well, every year we have our 2 weeks of wrestling, and it just so happened alphabetically the guy closest to me was another guy named TJ, who was a best wrestler in the school. So every day gym class would start, and I would feel that hand on my shoulder. Okay, here we go. And I would get twisted up like a pretzel.
By
dog.
another DJ?
But the thing is, he, without even letting me know he was teaching me stuff, I was learning. I was learning the sit-outs, and I was learning everything while he was getting an extra hour of practice in on me, because I was slightly... No, I wasn't. I grew later, so I got bigger later. But it was still like he was getting extra practice in. I'm getting twisted up. But yeah, at the same point, I'm learning. And the next time I remember I did get into a scrap, I remember I did a sit out, and I was like, that just worked.
There you go.
That just worked.
See, we learn stuff about each other while we interview other people too, man. It's a great little ecosystem we got.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. And then, so moving on, was there any other sports that? Sorry about that. Were there any other sports that you got into?
Yeah, I played baseball and I played a little bit of Pop Warner football. But the only problem with that is football. You got a whistle, and the play stops when the whistle's blown. And there's me not stopping. Yeah. So I remember. I remember I was a little kid, and we were playing Pop Warner, and I smoked this one kid, and I'm so proud of myself. And he gets up all mad, and the parents are mad, and the coach comes over and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He can't hear the whistle. And I was like, oh, crap.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was tough. So as soon as that happened, he put me at running back. And he said, when you have the ball, you know when the play's over.
Right.
Solid.
So
that's how I played that. And I played baseball. And I played baseball all the way up till I got to high school. It was fun. I was pretty good at baseball. But I was so in love with wrestling. And baseball was such it's a different world. I remember in baseball, the thing that would frustrate me a lot is the thing called daddy ball. And I hate daddy ball because in wrestling, the best wrestler starts. If it doesn't matter if you're the coach's son whatever. If I beat you, I get to start. So you have to actually prove yourself. And in baseball, you kind of can, if you're the daddy's boy, they put you where they want you. Right. And I remember the moment I quit baseball, I was in 8th grade, and a couple of kids were running their mouth, and they would always just say smart things towards me, and of course the hearing and stuff. So they would make comments, and me as a wrestler, I'm not a very verbal guy. I'm more of a physical confrontation. Like I'm not going to argue, but I was always taught, you don't start it, you finish it, and they would never start it.
Yeah, man.
So I just had to sit there and take it. And I would get so frustrated. And I finally went home. I told my parents, I was like, I don't want to play baseball anymore because they just get to say whatever and get away with it. Whereas in wrestling, you can talk that smack, but you don't know if you're going to see me at the next tournament. Or if you're next on deck and I make it to the next round, now you got to step on the mat with me. Mm-hmm. And now there is no talking, and I just get to do whatever I want. I played a couple of sports, but wrestling was the main thing that I carried on all the way up till I got older.
I can't wait till his bar fight question.
All right.
I need to know. All right, now talk to us a little bit about the move to NXT, being able to work with the WWE, which is, the cream of the crop as far as this business goes. And what's going through your mind when you got to cut a promo for them?
Well, also before that, like how'd you get signed?
Yeah, the tryout situation.
You had, we have all these classes lately, and a lot of these classes, you're seeing these people have gone on to do pretty cool stuff. So how, take us through the time that you got the email or the phone call that lets you know, hey, man, we're going to pick you up.
Yeah, so there was a guy named Sonny Shiaki, and my father coached him back in the day in football. And he had been through the program a little bit, and I was in college, and I'm about to graduate, and he had just thrown it out there and said, hey, I think you would be really good at WWE. And I'm like, wait a minute. I've always wanted to do it, but, you can't just go to WWE.
Right.
He was like, no, there's a whole process, there's a tryout. He said, let's fill out an application, send it in, and we'll see what happens. So we fill out the application, send it in, and I'm thinking that they're not going to see the application. That's not how, there's no way. Months go by and no contact. And then eventually, it was right when COVID hit, I got an email and I had a tryout. I'm sitting there thinking, it's been 8 months. And I'm thinking this had to be a fake email. It's a scam. So I kind of ignored it. And all of a sudden, I got a DM on Instagram from the WWE recruit. And I was like, okay, this is legit. So I reached back out and I was like, hey, yeah, like, what do I do? And they were like, hey, listen, we got to try out December. I think it was December 14th through the 17th, 2021. We're going to fly you down, hotel, rental cars. We got everything covered. All you have to do is show up. Mm-hmm. So me not knowing anything about the tryout, how this works, I said, all right. I told my mother, I said, hey, I'm going to Florida for a few days. I got to try out. And I told her right there, I said, I'm going to make it. Like, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm going to make this. And yeah, they brought me down here to try out. And I remember I check in at the hotel, and I'm pretty sure it was Lucian Price. But he's at the tryout, and I remember seeing this guy walk into the building. And I'm bigger at the time, but he was towering over me.
Yeah.
I called my mom immediately. I said, I think I'm in over my head. These guys are like coming out of the elevator, 7'5".
Yeah.
And my mom was like, son, do your best. She said, I believe in you. You're there for a reason. She said, there's nothing you can't do. I said, all right. Go through the tryout. And then a week later, I got a call, and they extended me the contract. And I was so excited. Finally moved down here. And it was a big jump. You know, I was excited, though, because, you know, my whole family had their own lives. You know, I'm the youngest child. Everyone already moved on, had kids, families.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, hey, I'm going to Florida. Mm-hmm. And I love you, Ma. I'll see you at some point. But, you know, I came down here, and it was a different world. It felt like college again. Because now we have classes, training on a schedule. It felt like sports. But this time it was much more scary, because I remember the first time I came in here, you got all these athletes from all over the world. And it's intimidating, because you know that, all right, I just signed a contract for 3 years, but at any moment they could just say, see ya. Like, you're not doing your job. You're not doing what it takes. So it was scary, because, you know, I had committed my whole life to moving down here. But I just said, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I'm undeniable, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. And, you know, it's just been one blessed year after another so far.
You got to have that belief in yourself, right? Like, quick story, you know, when I moved out to Los Angeles many years ago, I had like 10 friends out here. I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I had $1,600 to my name. And on a Monday night, a friend who I hadn't seen in almost 3 years showed up at my house to say, I'm driving to LA next Monday. We go up to the bar that night. I'd been wanting to move out here, and I just said, next Monday, I'm leaving with you. And then packed up everything and dipped within 6 days. So if you don't have some type of belief in yourself, man, it's just like, one, you're never going to be able to make that leap. You know what I'm saying? You got to have something inside of you that lets you know that there's bigger things out there for you, and you want that.
Absolutely.
Things, man. Sure.
Absolutely. I saw something the other day that really stuck with me. It said that the reason you want something so bad is because a version of your future self already has it.
Ooh.
And I said, you know what? There's a reason that I came down here knowing, and for some reason, I just knew it. I mean, I just knew I was going to make it to try. I knew I was going to make the WWE, and it was a big jump. And I had a lot of people tell me, like, David, you just graduated college, you got a good degree, and you need to go ahead and, you know, I had positions lined up to walk on as a strength coach for a program, because that's what I got my degree in strength and conditioning. And I had all these connections, and that's what I was going to do. And then all of a sudden I got this phone call. I said, nope, I'm going there. And all of that. But it was like, I just knew something was calling me down here, the same way you just said for yourself. But yeah, you gotta believe in yourself And I think the people who do the biggest things are the ones that have the craziest ideas.
Right.
Now, success, the road to success is not a straight line.
No.
And, no one does it by themselves. Even the confidence in yourself to believe in yourself don't come from all the way just you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the people around you. So I'm giving you the time, whether that be family members, friends, people who have looked out for you in the business. Who are the people that without them, we wouldn't have the Myles Borne that we see today?
Oh, man, there's so many.
That's great. That's a beautiful thing to have.
The very first people that I owe everything to is my parents.
Yeah.
My mom and dad. My dad used to always tell me, he would always just say, "Why not you?" And he would always tell me, everyone else, people become celebrities, actors, football players, professional baseball players. He said, people do it. It's been done. It's been done. People show that it can happen. And he'd always say, what's the difference between you and them? And he said, there isn't one. And he would never let me fall to that narrative of, oh, you're hearing impaired, you have a disability, you're always going to be behind, that kind of stuff that people would try to feed you. He was like, no, he said, you're not making excuses. He said, there's no reason you can't do that. And if you don't do it, it's your own fault. So I had him always, he was very hard on me at a young age, and we butted heads a lot, but he instilled that mindset in me to work hard, be disciplined, and always think, why not me? And then also my mother, who is the most caring and passionate and loving lady. She is like a warrior. She has been through so much, overcame so much. And she inspired me, but she always believed in me. And that right there meant more than anything, because nothing motivates me more than to put myself in a position to where I can one day take care of her and pay everything back and give her the life that I've always wanted her to have. So those two right there, definitely. And then my amateur wrestling coach, Dan Willis, and another guy named Alan Sewell. Those two guys, they busted my tail, and I was with them from the age of 4 all the way up till I still talk to them to this day. And I remember, they wouldn't let me make excuses. They pushed me hard. They pushed me to the point to where sometimes I would cry. I'd just be so upset. Yeah. They just keep pushing. And I remember the first time I met this guy named Alan. He's an old guy, old school. My dad took me to a wrestling tournament because he used to be a wrestling coach, and he introduced me to this guy named Alan. And I was probably 11, and Alan looks at me and he says, he's like, you tough? I was like, yeah, I'm tough. He said, come here. He puts me down and he gives me a crossface, right across the nose, as hard as he can. And my eyes just started watering. And I look at my dad like, you really gonna let this man hit me? And the coach looks at me and goes, don't cry, son. He's like, you're tough. He said, that's what it takes. He said, if you want to be a wrestler, that's how you do it. He said, I didn't teach you that to hurt you. I showed you that so you know how to do it right. So I was like, wow, okay, yeah, that's how I need. Okay, so my dad had me around these guys and these role models that were strong and disciplined. But those two guys right there, they molded me from the time I was 4 all the way to now with my amateur wrestling and teaching me work ethic and discipline. And those, like, if I hadn't had those people in my corner, I would not be sitting here right now. I could make every excuse in the book for why I fall short or something like that, but they just would not allow it. There was no excuse in the book. It was, I see your potential, and we're going to make sure you get there. And my dad used to always tell me, you might hate me right now, but one day you're going to thank me. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, I do hate you right now. Like in a competitive, loving way.
Right.
Now, like, I look back and I'm like, thank you so much for those hard lessons. Don't ever take it easy on me, because I look at, other situations that I could be in, and I don't want to be there. I'm happy with where I'm at, and it took embracing the suck is what they say. But
Yeah.
suck.
I owe those people everything for where I'm at, and I couldn't have done it without them, honestly.
Took getting cross-faced at 11.
Yeah. Dude, that why not you?
Powerful, right?
Bro, that might be that's some crazy merch right there. That's a nice gimmick right there. Why not you is a powerful message. I can see a crowd chanting, "Why not you?"
Hey, like
to my man Myles,
like,
bro. I see the vision, bro.
Like I've said about 5 or 6 different times throughout these interviews we do.
Yeah, why
we
not
say
you?
something. Put it on a t-shirt.
Put that on, bro.
Put it on a t-shirt.
There you go. Why not you?
Yeah, and just send us 2. That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we want to send it to him, baby. Why not
you.
you is powerful, dude.
Yeah,
hell
man.
yeah.
And it's funny, you're sitting there looking at your dad like,
like, hey,
hello?
Tell me what you see, brother.
Hey, can you beat this guy up for me? This same guy.
And your dad, Myles, your dad knew that was going to happen too, by the way.
Oh, he knew.
Yeah, he knew. He was a setup.
Because now that I look back, I remember as I sit down, my dad just kind of stepped back.
What a heel turn!
Wait, what's happening here? But that same guy, Alan, I was a freshman in high school, and I qualified for the state tournament, and it was my dream to win a state title, and I ended up losing, and I was so upset and devastated. I went and found a hallway all by myself. Because I felt like I had let my parents down and my coaches down, and I was humiliated because you just lose. You're by yourself, and you lose in front of all these people. And I find this one hallway. I'm like, all right, no one can see me. No one knows I'm here, and I'm crying. I'm 14 at the time. I'm upset, and here comes Alan. He finds me, and he pulls his phone out, and he's put the light on, and now he's recording me, and I'm toughening up. I stopped crying for a second. He looks at me. He goes, "You remember this feeling, buddy?" He said, "You remember how bad this feels?" He said, "I'm going to send you this video, and I'm going to send it to you every year." And,
oh, my goodness.
And when he said that to me, I was like, "Oh, you piece of crap."
Yeah.
that is the worst thing to say to somebody. But I talked to him 2 weeks ago, and he said, "Hey, remember that video?" And I was like, I remember it. He said, "Well, look where you're at now, kid." He said, "You didn't forget the feeling." And I said, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you need somebody.
Delete that.
Right. Has he sent it to you recently?
No, he can't find the video. He's got like 4 new phones now. So he said, "I'm going to look for it on my old phone." I was like, "You do that. You'll find it."
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Shout out to Alan, though, man. You do tough love, man. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people can't handle it, but sometimes it's what you need in certain situations.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Pressure makes diamonds, man. Well,
so he gets to NXT, you know, and you start off with Level Up, and then you kind of get hooked up with the NQCC. Talk to us about what it meant to be a part of. That was Charlie, that was Drew, that was Tavion, and you at that time. Correct?
Yeah, that was
and Damon Kemp also was
Damon. Yep, we were all part of that group. That was cool because there were amateur wrestlers in that group and people with other disciplines. So it was fun to have that little group together because we all kind of had, before we even got together in a group, we hit it off really quick in the PC. We felt like brothers from other parts of the world because we shared one thing, and that was amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
So now that we were in a group together, it felt like, all right, we are the NQCC. We are dogs. Like, we are tough catch wrestlers. And it was cool. It was fun to have a group because, you know, it's scary being on TV that new. And so it was nice having those guys, you know, come out there with me while I'm out there. It felt, you know, I didn't feel so like singled out. But it was a good group of guys. I enjoyed my time in NQCC. I had a lot of fun with those guys. Me and Tavion, we clicked really good. I mean, we worked good together. And I think we had some of our best matches together. Was, you know, I still look back and I'm like, dang, we killed it. we went to Deadline a couple years ago and against Nathan and Axiom.
Yeah.
And that was a phenomenal match. We had a blast. And me and Tavion, we went hard. And then we got to welcome the Hardy boys back.
Yeah, that's
That was
sick.
fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so me and Tavion, we had a good time together. But the NQCC, that was fun. But I'm happy it happened. But I'm also even more happy that I got to, step out and now do something on my own.
Yeah.
I wanted that pressure, and I wanted that spotlight.
And it also seemed like after you wrestled Oba, if I'm not mistaken, the fans just got behind you, and it kind of turned all of you guys into baby faces.
Yeah.
Right.
What was that like to be like, wait a minute, they're cheering us right now?
Dude, it was awesome. I remember we were in the middle of a match, and they're cheering for us. And me and Tavion look at each other on the apron. We're like, okay, this all right. And then from that moment forward, the whole game changed for us, and the momentum shifted. And then, I wrestled Oba, and the fans will get behind us, and I was like, wow, these people are they know my story. They're starting to learn who I am, and they accepted it. And it was a good feeling seeing the people give back what I was trying to give them. It was awesome. And but yeah, that was when the moment that shifted, I was like, wow, like, oh crap. This is cool. It was fun.
That's dope. And we got to give a shout out to a new favorite of ours, Ren Sinclair. It's Happy Ren's Day.
Happy Ren's Day.
We throw it up for the NQCC. But yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, that's got to be a special moment when you hear the crowd shift in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are still waiting for that. So that to get it that early, that NXT crowd is. I have to experience that, dude. I have to go down there to people, dude.
Please do.
Now, TJ, he has hardware now.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it.
And he might have beat up a friend of the show to get it. Shout out
all
Ethan Page, all ego, the egotistical one himself. But tell us about when you find out putting a strap on you, and what's that feeling going home as a champ, like with a solo title and responsibility and like the to know that the company sees it.
Yeah.
What's that feeling for you?
It was at first they never told me anything.
Great.
I knew
that.
nothing. And the day of the match, I know nothing. And it was a long haul, 4 years of busting my tail and working hard.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want a shot. I think I can. I just want my moment,
Yeah.
And when I had that day, I knew nothing, and my family's in town, and they're asking me, and I'm like, I honestly can't tell you an answer. I don't know. And that night when we had that match, that was an awesome match. Ethan is he's a different guy. He's a different cat. Yeah. You got to have you had this love-hate relationship with Ethan Page, all ego.
Top smart ass I've ever met.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's good at it.
Because some of the stuff he was saying in the build-up, I'm like, bro, at one point I was like, I hope he cleared that with Myles.
Bro, you was boy.
What are you saying?
But yeah, man, when that night, the moment I hit the Bourne again, and it was 1, 2, 3, and the crowd just blew up. I didn't even get a chance to soak it all in yet. He hands me the strap, and I'm sitting there thinking, wow, the company, they believe in me. They believe in me. This is awesome. This is a big responsibility, and they put it in my hands. And to me, that's one of that's something I couldn't be more thankful for. You know, I wanted that opportunity, and they blessed me with it. And now, like that, and I knew in that moment, I said, okay, I'm very happy, and I can celebrate this. But it's the work just now starting.
Yes.
It starts now. Like they trusted me, so now I got to make sure I follow up on my end. And but yeah, I remember I rolled out and go to my mother, and she literally the whole time she looked at me. She said, "I can't believe you." She said, "I thought you were losing." And
Great.
the moment Vanity Project comes out and cracks me with the title, she said, "I thought that was it." And I was like, "I'm so glad that my mother got to witness that live."
Yeah.
Genuine reaction. And but yeah, it didn't really hit me until I got home. You know, we got home and we had dinner, and once everybody left, I remember I saw the belt sitting there, and I said, "Wait a minute, when I was a little kid, this was my dream to just make it into the WWE." And now I was like, I had to literally talk to myself in third person. I was like, "Myles, you're not just in WWE, you are a champion."
Yeah, and we'll be in forever.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, like that is insane. Like the little me sitting crisscross applesauce in front of that TV.
Yeah.
Going nuts. I wish I could walk into that room and see that little guy and say, "Hey, look at this."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many things that I've had, I've been blessed with now where I'm like, if little kid Shay could see us right now, dude, we lose it. Lose it.
And I'm glad you brought up that mom thing, because I did want to ask you, man, what that hug was like. But you already, rewatching that, like, because I think we've just established all three of us are mama's boys, very proud mama's boys. Hi, mom. So,
Hey, mom.
So that must have just been, and like you said, when you said the hearing thing was harder on them than it was for you, the amount of pride that woman must have felt.
Look at it.
At that moment. Look at my boy. I can't even imagine what that was like. For as great as it was for you, dog, it had to have been so much greater for her, because I'm sure as a mother, I don't have any kids. You do, obviously, but like, I'm sure her whole life was just like worrying about you and hoping and wanting you to be okay and wishing for you to be okay. And I think probably for her to see that happen probably was one of the greatest things that ever happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I couldn't imagine it. I'm not a parent myself, so I don't even know the feeling, but I saw her when I hugged her, she was in tears, and she put her head down on my shoulder and she said, "I'm so proud of you, and I always knew that you could do this."
Yeah.
And I remember I talked to her and she said, "My whole life I was always worried, but I always knew deep down that you were meant for something big." Man. She said, "I just believed in it and I knew it." And she said, it makes my heart, she was telling me, it makes my heart so happy seeing my son has made it,
Yeah.
And me, in my eyes, I'm like, you think I'm not even there yet.
Just starting, Mom.
Yeah,
we haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
But for her, I can't even imagine what that's like. But when she said that, I felt so proud, because I felt like, I'm honoring my family, and I'm making them proud, and it just motivated me to want to even go further. And I love looking over there and seeing my family, like being a fan and looking at me saying like, "Wow, that's my kid." And that's what I've always wanted. And like I said, when I lost that state title and the video, I was disappointed, and I didn't even want to see my parents, because I wanted nothing more than to look up in the stands and see them celebrating like I saw the other kids with their parents. And it was one loss after loss after loss. And now at the biggest stage of my career ever, I get to look over and see, hey, now we are in that position. I won, and my parents are so proud, and
we won.
And that was awesome.
Exactly. We won.
Like about back in 2009, I had a book published, and
Big flex.
Published my first book, and I remember calling my mom to tell her about it. And I'm like, you get like an advance and you get all this. But when I told her that I got signed to a publishing house, like I remember she said my name and I could hear it in her voice. And all I wanted to do, like you said, just make my parents proud. And she'd always be proud. I was like, I never really gave you a reason, but that moment, I will never forget the way she said my name. It like if I don't stop talking about it now, I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, I could hear it, and I could hear it in her voice, and that was one of the greatest feelings I ever had in my life, man. And I know you've got the same thing, man.
And as the parent in the conversation, I'm gonna tell you right now what being a parent does. Whatever muscle it is in your brain that makes you worry is flexing like you've never. I'm worried about everything. I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Golden State worrier, bro. I worry. Like I'm worried about her right now in school. I'm thinking like when one day some girls like hid her water bottle. I want to kill them girls, bro. Like I worry. I sit and worry, and I think as a parent, the best feelings are when your kid gets to give you a little relief, like that little bit of relief. So like, I could just imagine like when Jordan brings me great report cards, get that little bit of relief. All right, she's doing good. She's doing her thing. So I could imagine seeing her be champion of the world.
Man,
Like, it's like I'm feeling good. Yeah. So that is an amazing moment. We've talked to superstars who didn't get to share that with their parents. Oh, so for you to be able to do it, man, that is a blessing beyond. I'm so happy that you got to do that. Man. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
God, now you can't lose it, bro. You done got the heartstrings going.
I know, I got it. Can't lose it now.
Listen. There's other belts that eventually.
Yeah, I know. But like, man, that was like that beautiful moment, and that's what people who don't watch wrestling don't understand. Yeah. Like. You hear the naysayers or when they talk about, winning, when superstars win championships, that it doesn't have the same feeling as other sports. But like to have a company,
$1 billion company,
of the mass of WWE choose you.
Yeah, that
is like, dude, that is such an honor, and like you have to take that serious, or like, what are you doing it for?
Yeah, right.
So hey, we think they got a good one with you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Story, man.
Absolutely. You got one? Because I'm about to ask about the.
We got many of
I'm about to ask.
I think now we get into the questions that we're known for. Now that we got past the getting to know Myles and things I definitely wanted to know about you. Let's get into some of the NCW favorites. You know what I mean? So before we get to that one, let's talk about this. You mentioned Randy Orton, right? Who were some of the other wrestlers growing up? You said Cena and Orton, but like, who were the other guys that you were really into when you were a kid playing those video games?
Really into? So when I played the video game, Rey Mysterio, I loved him. The things you could do on the video game with him. Wow. He does in real life. Crazy. Him, Kurt Angle. I like Kurt Angle a lot. As I got a little older, I fell in love with Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot. But yeah, those were my guys that I picked growing up. And of course, Undertaker. The larger than life. But yeah, those were my guys when I was younger.
Do you ever go back on YouTube and just watch old matches and try to pick things up from players, or are you just kind of focused on what you're doing in the present?
A little bit of both, because I like to go back and watch some old matches and take bits and pieces. But at the same time, the business is evolving and changing. And we're always being told that, like, something that, we do here, we don't do here. This is different now. So it's always evolving. So I try to, be smart at what I bring in, because, like I said, Shawn Michaels always tells us, today's era is different. But yeah, I went back and watched Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21.
Ooh.
And
must see.
I've taken some spots out of that and applied them, because there was action, it was movement, it was entertaining. And what I loved about it was you got a gold medalist getting out wrestled by Shawn Michaels. Right. And I said, okay. I was like, I'm an amateur wrestler. It's like these are things that I can use, and it was just cool seeing that dynamic. And so yeah, I definitely watched some old tapes and try to blend that into what I do as much as possible, while also honing my own craft.
Word. So you said the video game that you kind of got the bug from was 07.
Yeah, '07.
So that means, bro, he's full on watching when Randy Orton was the most evil man on TV in 2009.
Oh yeah.
2009 Randy Orton is like is Darth Vader, the Joker, Cersei Lannister, and 2009 Randy Orton.
Yeah,
that dude was a menace, man. All right, so I'm feeling the ballpark. I was introduced to wrestling through video games as well. So video games and wrestling, they just go hand in hand. It's how you fall in love with a lot of people, honestly. And okay, so you're watching around that time. Those are your guys that you're into. You talked about Randy on the treadmill. Has there been any stars that you've gotten, any of the legends that you run across there at the PC where you're like, damn, like anybody else besides Randy?
Oh yeah, I've went into Undertaker. I've went into Cena, AJ Styles. I went into a lot of guys, but funny story about Undertaker. Usually I come in, I'm focused, head down. I'm thinking about, all right, what are we doing? I'm getting my gear on, and I walk in and I walk right past this 6'7" guy wearing a bandana.
Yeah,
and I don't think nothing of it. I'm keeping my head down. I'm in my head thinking about something, and I go and sit down. I'm putting my boots on. I go, who would be that big with tattoos and a bandana? And I said, oh crap! I think I just walked past the Undertaker. And as I look up, he's right there in front of me. He introduces himself. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "What is this? What is this? I played with you on a video game, like, right. And and we had like a conversation about, I'm a Florida Gator fan and he's a Texan Longhorn fan. We talked about football. Yeah. And I remember I called my mom. I said, I just had a conversation about football with the Undertaker.
Right.
I mean, what the world? That's crazy. I got the best job in the world. Stuff like that just makes you realize, like, all right, the training is hard, the bumps hard, everything's hard on your body, but it's moments like that make you sit back and go, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in this world.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many benefits and cool moments that people could only just dream of. So it's crazy.
Dope, man.
Yeah, I feel you on that 100%. When I was 12, my dad picked me up from school one day. Awesome. My dad don't pick me up from school. All right. This is like my grandma's job. Okay. So
your dad would cause too much of a ruckus.
Exactly. So like when people hear that my dad is there, it spreads like wildfire. Like I knew he was there before I went outside. It was like, shit, your dad's here. Your dad's here. Your dad's here. And so now I'm thinking, I'm 12. I'm thinking like, he didn't tell me he was doing this. I must be in the worst trouble I've ever been in. So I get in the car and he's like, how was school? I'm like, fine. How was your day? And we're driving well past the house. So I'm like, all right, this is it. He's about to bury me in the desert. Like, tell me something. We drive all the way to Venice, which from the Valley to Venice is a long drive, especially after 3 o'clock. But so we get there. We sit at a table at a restaurant that's bigger than it should be for two people. And The Rock walks in and just sits down and has a meeting with my dad. This is my hero at the time, okay? My dad does not warn me or anything. And I couldn't get a single word out, bro. I was so shocked that for like 45 to an hour, I was just in awe. Yeah. And my dad was like, come on, man, tell him somebody's ass you want him to kick. And I'm just like, whoever you want. Like I just couldn't get it out. So I could just imagine that feeling of seeing somebody that, you was a hero through video games. And like that is, you couldn't bottle it up. Mm-hmm. Then the first time I met Taker was at Fanatics Fest where my podcast partner almost embarrassed the hell out of me because he goes up to Taker and goes, hey, Mark, how you doing?
I know people are tired of this.
I love this story.
I instantly, Myles, I went, oh my gosh, what did you just do? Like, because Mark. He does the podcast and stuff now, you feel like you kind of knew these guys. And I'm sure people are tired of this story, but yeah, I said it. I was like, what's up, Mark? And I went, oh.
Oh, who do you think
So
you are?
I went up to him like 10 seconds later. I was like, hey, I'm really sorry about that. I didn't even mean to call you by your government name. But, you know, and he was like, it's okay. He goes, I'm a lot more lenient about it these days. And I was just like, oh, boy.
Yeah, man. Call it, bro.
Yeah, you can't call that man by his government name.
You're a different breed,
Oh
bro.
boy,
You know, that frightened me a little bit. But
that is funny. Funny.
Good.
ask him.
All right. Myles, you have been amazing, brother. It has been great. But now we are here with our number one question. We ask everybody, except Charlotte Flair, we ask everybody.
We didn't, did we?
We didn't get to ask her. What is the bar fight question? The bar fight question is a situation based question that we ask everybody the first time around here. The situation, Myles, is you are in a bar. There's 50 dudes in that bar who don't like Myles Borne.
They're hating on you, Myles.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
I need you to pick a team.
They're
of
Florida
you.
State and Miami Hurricane fans in that bar. You know? They don't like the Gators.
Anyway, we'll get into that later. But so I need you to pick a team of you and 4 other superstars to make sure Myles Borne is headed to the car.
But also, Myles, they can be 4 superstars from today, or they could be 4 superstars from any era.
Yeah,
Up to
whatever
you.
you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Everybody likes to draft.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna go with first AJ Styles.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right.
okay.
That man is a brawler. He's aggressive. He's got an amateur background, but he doesn't back down. So I like that. Any era? Oh, I'm going with 09 Randy Orton. I'm throwing the 09 Randy Orton in there.
Naturally.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think now we've got at least 10 people handled just by his presence alone.
Yeah.
They're running. If they've ever seen it. After that, I'm gonna have to go with some of my boys here. I'm gonna go with Tony D'Angelo.
Yo, listen.
Another one.
At this point, based upon the answers we've given, Tony D'Angelo could beat up like prime Mike Tyson because everyone down there is Tony D is on their list.
He's the Haku of NXT now, bro.
Oh yeah, he's a baller. He's a baller. He ain't backing down. So I'm putting him in there.
Okay.
One more.
One more. Oh. I'm gonna have to go with Tavion Heights.
I kind of knew that was coming,
bro.
I'm gonna have to go with the body like a bus guy, the Olympic wrestler. Just start throwing some bodies around for me, you know. Just start throwing.
Speaking of throw around that, we're going to talk about this later when Myles is gone. That belly to belly he put on Tony last night. Oh my goodness! Tony D's feet were up in the air like I never.
He was dunking him into a pool.
All right, so Myles Borne, your bar fight crew is you, the phenomenal AJ Styles, 2009 Randall Keith, Tony D, and Tavion Heights. Yeah, I think somebody's getting more than their feelings hurt.
Yeah, they fine, bro.
In that bar.
How's that list? What do you think? We making out?
Bro, that's a nasty one.
Like I said, based upon what we know and what we've heard from people, like you said, you got an Olympic wrestler here in T.
Yeah.
You got Tony D, who everybody puts on, and 09 Randy was a menace.
Yeah.
So, and then there's you.
Psychopath.
and AJ, you're going to get home. I think you call your mom that night and go, hey, you ain't going to believe what these fools tried to do, but we all right.
Yeah, Mom, we need to hide Randy. He kind of went off.
might have to put Randy in the guest house, in the guest room for a little bit because people are looking for him.
Got a little crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Myles, one other thing I guess we want to talk about. We don't want to spend too much time on this, but I heard you bring this up. It's out there in the open. We're not TMZ. We don't really fish in these waters, but let's talk about it. You know, your lady is also on the roster, very successful wrestler, Stephanie Vicaire.
Friend of the show.
You probably don't know this, but she's special to us because here's the reason. I'd say it was about over a year ago. She comes onto the show. Great interview with her. And so I had to ask her. I'm like, there's that move that you do that sets everybody on fire. Booker T's going crazy. I'm like, there's no name for it, though. And I had a list of names written. And I said I was going to throw some out, like I had, Kiss of the Diablo, this and that. And she said, well, Matt Bloom calls it the Devil's Kiss. And I was like, oh, well, that's close. I'm like, do you like that? She's like, yeah. I was like, all right. So right here on No Contest Wrestling, we are officially the people that coined the name The Devil's Kiss. So all of you out there, you're welcome. That was us. We did that. But like, yeah, man, I like I said, we're not really into the personal stuff, but because I've heard multiple times you say this is kind of interesting, let's talk about it. She essentially pulled you and said, yo, let's go kick it, because you weren't going to go speak to her, apparently. Is this how this
works? So here's what happened. I was too nervous to talk to it first.
That's understandable.
And the guys can try to hate and be like, oh, he's not tough, he can't talk to girls. I think every single one of us have had that moment.
Unfortunately, more than once.
Man. Yes. And if you're not nervous to talk to her, you might want to look for something different.
Yeah, man.
That's just the truth. But yeah, so we had both, messaged each other back and forth. I had asked her to do something. She had asked me to do something. Like, so we were going back and forth. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I didn't mean to word it like she asked me first. It was the when she had asked me to do something, and that was finally the one time we actually got together. Gotcha. And but yeah, at the PC, I was nervous to talk to her. I mean, she's a wonderful lady, beautiful girl, and she's a superstar. I mean, everyone's in awe of her. Yeah, phenomenal. But yeah, so I had asked her to hang out, and a couple times we couldn't. But I knew, like, all right, my dad always had this rule. He said, if you count down from 10 and you don't do it, you didn't want it bad enough. So, yeah.
Yo, so, Bob's got the same.
Your dad needs to write a book or something, man.
So he just told me to count down from 10, and I've done that, a couple times, and I count down from 10, and I get to like 5, and I'm like, all right, 4.5.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, 4. I'm like, we can start over. No one knows I'm counting. But I had to hold myself accountable to it, and eventually, we finally did get together, and the connection was there. But yeah, a lot of people gave me crap for being nervous, but that's normal. She's a beautiful girl, amazing superstar. I'm so happy for her. She just had her first WrestleMania, which is insane.
Yeah.
I watched, her entrance and everything. I was in awe of the entrance, because that's amazing. Like, that's the Super Bowl of wrestling. And it's so cool seeing someone like that come from her background, come from Chile all the way here, and all the obstacles, and then walk out WrestleMania. And that is a dream come true. And, but yeah, it's out there, but that's, that's kind of the whole basis of it. But
that's dope. And then you instantly became one of the most hated men on the internet. I noticed as soon as that, fellas gotta hate, and I don't even think it's real hate from people, right? It can't be real hate because none of these guys are pulling that. But it's just like, I think we as men, we just kind of do that. Like, oh man, I don't like him no more. So
that's a compliment for me. That's a compliment.
Yes, it has to be taken as a compliment. But
you know how hated.
You know how dudes are. It's just like I was reading some of these comments and I'm laughing. I'm like,
oh, now you don't have a shot, dude. In Saskatchewan.
Wow, okay. Because if she hadn't said yes to him, she was definitely coming over to
you
see
were next. That was crazy.
Like, come on, man. Bro. But yeah, man, she's dope. Like I said, we had a great time interviewing her, and every time I hear the words "Devil's Kiss," I take a little, not ownership over it, but like we were the ones that put that out there. So I feel
one of our first moments.
Yeah. So let's just say this, Myles. Steph's out. She's on the main roster. She's out touring. You're at the crib dolo, right? I'm asking, I look at your Instagram. I see you're into a lot of things. So describe to me like a perfect day off. Would it be hunting, working on the car, building something? I see you on with the miter saw there, like making her like a drawer or something. Like what would be the perfect day for Myles when you're just by yourself and don't have anything to do? What's your downtime?
Man, the perfect day is, and I've had it. It's I wake up early. I'm outside with the dog. I go immediately outside with my dog. I got the fire pit going, coffee. I'm a chill guy. And then I like to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. And then after I get that out of the way, I'm a water guy. I love the water. I love the beach. I love the lake. I have a jet ski. I'm going riding. I'm going out in the water. I'm going fishing. I got to. And then the perfect day for me is to be able to, wake up, have my dog, enjoy the morning, go to the gym, and believe it or not, get a haircut. I love going to the barbershop.
Okay.
Get my haircut. I just love it. It's just the best feeling. It's relaxing. And then after that, hitting the water, going out in the lake, getting some sun, staying out there all day. And I love coming home. And I've had this day before. And I came home. I went to the grocery store. I bought some coconut shrimp. I fried them up.
Ooh.
And I had it out. I ate it in the backyard. Had myself a nice drink, a fire pit going, and my dog right next to me, and playing some music. And that's a perfect day for me.
That's what's up. What kind of music you into?
Dude, I'm into all kinds of stuff, and it's kind of funny. I love like reggae.
Mm-hmm.
I love country music.
Okay.
Like anything that makes me feel like I'm at the beach or on the water. I love it. That's just my type right now.
All right. You into Kenny Chesney by chance?
Who?
Kenny Chesney?
I have not heard that.
The country singer Kenny Chesney?
Put him on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, he was just on. I work on my day job is with the Rich Eisen show, and he was a guest yesterday, and it's always cool to see Kenny. And I know he's got a bunch of songs that make you want to sit, next to a lake and pop a beer. Man, he's that type of dude. So I just wondered if he was one of the guys that you were into. I got one last for him. You got
Absolutely.
something? All right, so he's family now. I think it's safe to say, right? We look at you as no contest family, brother. Anytime you're in Los Angeles, I'll let you know where the spare key is. Help yourself in. Raid the fridge. I don't know if we got coconut shrimp, but I know there's probably some tomahawk steaks in there. Yeah. Probably some brisket. Just help yourself, whatever. But also inside the house, Myles Borne. And don't tell everybody this because we don't offer this to everybody. In the garage, we got a DeLorean, bro. Okay, so what we like to do is I'm going to give you the keys to the DeLorean. And I'm going to let you take this DeLorean anywhere you want. But the thing is, you have to go in time and find 5 wrestlers that you would have a dream WrestleMania match with. Wrestlers from any era. Who would be your 5 dream WrestleMania opponents?
Oh, man. So I'm time traveling here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely going back to the Attitude Era.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get I would like to wrestle Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, makes sense.
That would be one. Kurt Angle. Let's see. Stone Cold.
Yeah, there he is.
You gotta make that money, man.
Oh yeah. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with probably Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then for WrestleMania, like I'm gonna go with the 09 Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh man,
that's some dangerous waters, but
hey man,
my 5.
Like we said, pressure builds diamonds. So
That's right.
Listen, I know he just brought the punt kick back. This is just speaking as a fan right now. He kicked the shit out of Cody, bro.
Man,
he and I know Cody's the type of dude that no, go ahead, lay it in. Yeah.
Woo! My man was out there looking like One-Eyed Willie.
Woo! He was tense. Bro, that's tender, bro.
Yeah.
Like the whole day, that's tender. Sure. Don't even think about that. Man, Myles, I've had a great time.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
And I interviews like these, when we're getting to know somebody and, it's the perfect, length of time. Don Bowie. And it's just, I hope that you get new fans from this because knowing you as a person now, it makes every victory that you have more enjoyable, you know? And, you're a good dude, man.
Yeah.
You got fans in us. Don't be surprised if you don't see us at NXT chanting, "Why not you? Why not you?"
Go. There you go. Yeah, come on down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much, man. It was. I had a blast talking to you guys. I love the podcast. Big fan of you and the both of you. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was an honor, dude. You guys are awesome.
Bro, anytime you
Yeah,
want to come,
brother.
just shoot the shit. It's whatever, bro.
Yeah,
Just come
man.
on
I'm
through,
down.
man.
You let me know. You let me know.
Like I said, man, and like I said at the beginning, just that dude who I randomly is like, oh, he's going to okay, let me hit this follow button. So now I'll be here with him. And I went back. Is this stalkerish? I don't know. I went back on your Instagram before, while doing research, and I looked for like the first time I liked one of your pictures, and it was like the third or fourth picture on your Instagram, and I don't know. I was like, is this weird that but research.
It's research, bro. It's your job.
Research.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Not weird at all.
I don't
Not
want you to
weird
think
at
I'm
all.
stalking you or nothing, but I had to see. I know I was down with Myles Borne for a minute. So.
Yeah, man. Born to be. Yo, thank you so much, brother. Enjoy your day. Oh, wait. First of all, did you have a good time? You had a good time, you said, right?
I had a great time, man.
The hell I'm
Great time.
talking
We gotta
about,
do this again.
Let's go. And Born Again, by the way, that name was just dope.
Great.
That's just a dope name.
Oh,
Well,
that's good.
you know who came up with that?
Matt Bourne, or Matt Bloom, rather.
No, not Matt Bloom this time. It was actually Jelly Roll.
No!
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Jelly Roll named it.
Really?
Ellie Roll
Yeah.
always got his hand in
Crazy.
some wrestling, bro.
This is how you know, like, as a lyricist with his music, he's so creative, and we're here training, getting him ready for his stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking about my finisher. He goes, "You got a name for it?" I said, "No, not yet." He goes, "Born Again."
Yup.
So wow,
Yeah. Born
come up with
again.
that fast?
Okay.
There it is, Born Again.
I mean, it's not quite the devil's kiss that I
Oh,
can't,
my
but
God.
It's not.
Oh,
It's not, but it's still effective.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
effective.
Ladies and gentlemen, your NXT North American champion, Myles Borne.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
My
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Continued
guys. I really
success, bro.
appreciate it.
Stay
Hell
healthy.
yeah.
Like Myles Borne.
Man,
Man.
I knew it. That's the one thing about this gig that we got going is I end up getting a new, like, I'm not going to say favorite because, like, you know who your favorites are, but, like,
We're
you care
invested.
a little more. I'm invested.
We're invested.
I done bought in.
What is this?
on Myles Borne.
83 episodes now, and we've had a few repeats. But yeah, everyone that has done us the favor to come on this show and show love, we definitely get more invested in them a little bit more than we were the day before.
Yeah, and that, I mean, what an inspiration.
Right, like
Inspirational dude.
the
man.
fact that Myles, with everything he's had to go through with the hearing,
Yeah.
there's kids, right, that are in that same position, and they're going to see Myles Borne, and they're going to know his story, and that's just going to motivate them to go on and do great things.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a greater thing you can say about yourself is that you inspired somebody else who might be going through the same things that you're going through to believe in themselves. And that whole interview, man, his dad dropping bars, like his dad,
Yo.
like I said, should write a book.
Why not you?
Why not you? Like his mom, just worrying about her son and knowing, like he said, it hurt them more than it hurt him because he only knew what he knew. Like, what does it sound like? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
you always say, well, where's your dad? I don't know. Where he's somewhere.
Yeah, right.
What did he say? Like someone's like, well, how's this sound? Or what's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
difference?
right.
Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What can't you hear?
Yeah, right. So yeah, what an inspiration that dude is, and like I said, he's going to inspire many other kids who are going through, if not that thing, then something else that they think they can overcome. Let's see a cat like Myles and just go for it.
Yeah, well, I hope they really try to flip that. Why not you? That's bro.
Yeah.
You want to talk because like we talk about John and his stuff with Make a Wish and things like that. Why not you is like
It's powerful.
that is powerful. And then when you want to make him heal, I wasn't talking about John. That's my dad talking to me. It should be why not me,
Right.
And then you can flip it. And there's ways.
Yeah, ways
but why not you? That is such a powerful message that I hope he takes this interview and flip it, baby. Make you some money around.
Yeah, why
here.
not? And then, of course, he became the biggest heel on the internet when it was announced who he was dating. Everyone started
Hope he
hating.
lose every
but
match.
you know what? Good, good for Myles. And hopefully,
Yeah,
they're
man.
happy.
And if you, gentlemen, wherever you are, if you got a Stephanie Vaquer in your life that you nervous to talk to, just ask yourself, why not you?
Yeah. And that's the other thing,
Get
too,
up there,
because, I'd say there's young kids, I'm sure, even at our adult ages.
Yeah.
There's still, we might look at a female and go, oh, I don't know.
Hey, why not you,
But
bro?
why not you?
Why not you?
Let's go.
Look at that. I love this show, dude.
And give yourself the 10-second count, like you said.
Yeah.
If it's not worth, if after 10 seconds you still don't feel like you should do something, then it wasn't meant for you.
Yeah.
So when I roll out
restart
here, and I see Halle Berry.
Oh man, why not you, TJ?
That's what I've been asking myself since
Why
1990.
not?
Why not me? It ain't gonna ever be me, but whatever.
See that's the problem. Why not you, bro?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Yeah.
All right.
He said, "Oh, I'm gonna restart counting." Nobody knows I'm counting,
Right.
man.
But yeah, man.
That's about it. By the way, I forgot the belt.
Yeah, he did. So we were doing NXT today, so we got belts on deck here in the studio. I've got, what do I got? 1, 2, 3. Got like 4 belts just chilling in the cut. So
yeah, the belt's still wrapped up in my bag. I told y'all, man, they tried to kill me.
Listen,
They tried to kill
my
me.
goodness, you had to.
I'm
fly,
a survivor. Hashtag Shay survived.
Remember when you tweet angrily at him for that? Leave me out.
But they know me now. They know that was hard for me.
I was.
That was hard for me,
I ain't
man.
got nothing to do
They
with
don't feed the. A matter of fact, if anything, it's helped me see. They don't take care of them people in main cabin.
Them people.
They treated me like some sort of flea-bitten monster.
Again, that is O'Shea Jackson Jr. and his words and thoughts are not necessarily a reflection of TJ Jefferson
Yeah,
and
man.
No Contest Wrestling as a whole.
I'm just saying. I think I heard some slurs. That's all I'm saying, man.
That being said, I think it's time to get out of here today.
Yeah. 1-ply toilet paper too, by the way.
You used the bathroom?
In 5 hours.
There's no way you got. Hold up. There is no way you dropped a deuce on an airplane.
CJ, that's the best place to do it. All day. I'm never gonna see these people again. Do.
Bro,
I don't care, bro.
I can say this. How your big ass like me? I can't even pee in the bathroom because I'm on. The thought of sitting at my size.
Yeah, bro.
There ain't no way you did that.
Listen, sometimes you got to put your feet on the counter too. This has been a great episode, TJ. Please let us know where they can find us.
If you desire to keep following us after all this, here's the way you can do it. You can go to Twitter, and we're at There's No Contest. At Instagram, No Contest Wrestling Podcast. On Twitter, we're No Contest Wrestling Pod. Of course, you go on YouTube, go to the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page, or just search No Contest Wrestling. And of course, for your Airgate, wherever you listen to podcasts, we're on the ESPN platform, the only wrestling podcast on ESPN. Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, basically anywhere you want to listen to a podcast, just search those NCW boys, and I'm sure we will pop up.
On behalf of my podcast partner, TJ Jefferson, I am O'Shea Jackson Jr. Make sure y'all have a good day, but not too good. 'Cause who the hell they think you are? Who the hell do they think you are? Who do you think you
Who?
Main cabin tried to kill me.
Bye, Miss Parker.